Blessings, my friends and family, AVS here, and this entire situation in Hollywood is getting a little bit deeper than most people probably expected. And recently, Mel Gibson gave this speech on Fox, and I want to show you it, and I also want to show you something else, a woman speaking out very, very clearly about what is taking place, and I agree with it 100%, so we're going to touch on that as well. But without any further ado, let's get into this footage.
Joining us now, actor and Academy Award-winning director Mel Gibson.
We know who the culprits are. In fact, my son he's a member of the volunteer fire brigade. He sort of interfaces between LA County Fire and people, and they assist them where they can during, before, and after the blaze. And apparently the residents in Corral Canyon caught an arsonist up there. And the guy was all tooled up with fire gear and equipment and stuff like that, and ready to go. And he had been lighting fires, but they corralled the guy in Corral Canyon and gave him to the police. So.
Wow, okay, so this is what he's talking about. Alleged arsonist arrested for purposefully starting Kenneth fire that scorched Los Angeles. An arrest has been made in connection with the Kenneth fire in the West Hollywood Hills, as firefighters continue battling flames near homes in Calabasas and West Hills. The Los Angeles Police Department, LAPD, is conducting an arson investigation at Victory Trailhead, where the devastating fire broke out. Now, let's just say this guy really was doing this. Why? Was he paid? You know what I mean? Is he really the one behind this entire thing? One guy. One guy. Are they going to try and pin it on one guy? Wow, officials are treating the Kenneth fire as a crime, and an arrest has been made in connection with the blaze. So they're really pinning it on this guy. Now, I'm not saying that he's innocent, by the way, but I'm saying if he is guilty, I would not believe that he worked alone. And I definitely would not believe that there wasn't massive money backing this arson event. It's crazy, the scenes that have happened. Actually disgusting. No way, look at this. LAPD officials confirm the arrested suspect is a homeless man in his 30s. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it that it was just this guy, you know? Especially when you have all of these other very interesting key situations, such as insurance policies being cancelled beforehand. It seems that these very powerful people always want to pin it on the vulnerable. And I'm not saying that he's innocent, like I said, but it definitely seems very suspicious. Anyways, let's keep going.
There
Yeah,
are
apparently
people
that
actively going around looking for these conditions. Yeah,
apparently, Mel, that individual was never charged. It's a very confusing set of facts, because apparently he was reportedly trying to light things on fire, but it's not the fires, I guess, that they... I mean, it all seems very bizarre, but they have not ruled out that arson could have started the first fire. There's obviously still...
Wasn't there 3 fires that started at pretty much the exact same time?
Investigating this, and at the same time, Mel, there are numerous complaints, as you alluded to, that the fire hydrants did not have water or water pressure, and the LA fire chief herself reacted. Watch this.
My stance on this is when a firefighter comes up to a hydrant, we expect there's going to be water. We don't control the water supply. Our firefighters are there to protect lives and property and to make sure that we're properly trained and equipped.
Okay, so I believe this is what they're speaking about. This was 4 hours ago, posted by the New York Times, and it says, completely dry, how Los Angeles firefighters ran out of water. As wildfires roar into residential neighborhoods, firefighters in California and elsewhere are finding that water systems can't keep up with the demand. But I believe it's deeper than that. I believe these firefighters are claiming that the hydrants were literally empty. Here's a quote: completely dry, couldn't get any water out of it, said Captain Easton. So yeah, this is a very big deal. This isn't something to be taken lightly, honestly. Yeah, this is from the Wall Street Journal, and let's see what they say.
Fire hydrants ran dry in the Pacific Palisades. It sparked a wave of criticism and even misinformation.
Because Karen Bass didn't fill the reservoirs. So all the fire reservoirs were not, so the fire trucks are there, they couldn't pump water.
They cut the water off.
They don't have water.
Surveys show LA did have water, but amid widespread frustration and a report that a local reservoir in the Palisades was offline and empty due to repairs, California Governor Gavin Newsom issued a review of Los Angeles water and power.
You know, this is the thing when it comes to these type of events, and pretty much anything in the world, you're going to have people with different agendas. And when somebody tells the truth, sometimes there'll be other people saying that the truth is a lie. And we've seen this throughout history. And this is why certain information has to be analyzed deeply, and why independent journalism is very important. I saw a video of this man, his channel is John Hicks, and he posted this, and I was like, wow.
Oh my God.
This is why independent journalism is so important, okay? When I was watching this, I was like, wow.
Straight scenes of the apocalypse, man. That's another gas line. Jesus Christ, man. So much stuff in the air. Look at that, man. Stuff burning everywhere.
Just a sidetrack there, but it made me think that this is why they want to shut down independent journalists, because they can't hide the reality of situations when it's caught on camera, first person, first-hand evidence. You know, we're living in very deceptive times. But anyways, I don't want to sidetrack too much from this video because there's some very important information in here. Let's keep going.
That's my position on this. So if there's no water, I don't know how the water gets to the hydrants.
Mel, reaction to that?
Well, you know, I know they were messing with the water, letting reserves go.
Who is they, by the way? Who is they? Anybody know who they are?
For one reason or another. They've been doing that a while. California has a lot of problems that sort of baffle the mind as far as why they do things. And then in the events like this, you sort of look, well, is it on purpose? Which, it's an insane thing to think. But one begins to ponder whether or not there is a purpose in mind. What could it be, you know? I don't know.
Is unreal.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, you were talking about that, and there you go. You go across the street and you just, you know, right there. Those are the ones that you're talking about. Those are the seaside homes that are off of Malibu, and they're just, all of them just are gone.
And that's the thing, right? So many properties were destroyed. And do you remember that other event that took place where loads of houses were burnt down, but there was a certain color object, and for some reason those vehicles were not touched by the fire? You know, they got a little bit of melting from the heat from the other things burning around them, but you could tell that specific cars, I believe it was blue, they just weren't touched by the fire. Now, to me, that's weird. That's beyond weird. And it wasn't addressed publicly by major news networks. Even certain buildings that were painted that color seemed to survive, if I remember correctly. So what would be the purpose? Money? Power? Control?
Just one after another, leveled. And of course, you know, I'm also kind of wondering, I mean, I know this kind of goes down to another different rabbit hole, but, you know, I've heard in the past that they weren't going to allow construction there anymore, and now that these homes are gone, are they never coming back? It's just more questions than answers right now. But you can see how they're total destruction, and then there's a group of homes that are just fine.
It doesn't make sense,
so much
right?
Of that in all the various communities.
Of course, you know,
maybe somebody should research which houses survived. What houses didn't burn down? Who owned them, you know?
It's just more questions than answers right now.
Do they want the state empty? I don't know.
Well, Mel, there's already talk, and we played a couple of sound bites of reimagining the way rebuilding occurs. And obviously there's a great need for high-density housing in California and across the country. That's a big push by the climate folks. And you're already hearing rumblings of that. In this case, like goodbye single family homes, hello high density housing.
Wow. Do you think when they rebuild Hollywood, because they obviously will, they're gonna rebuild it in a different way? Maybe one of those smart cities or whatever you call it, 5-minute cities. There's a lot of talk about these in the UK and Europe, the 5-minute city inside Denmark's revolutionary neighborhood, and 15-minute cities, sorry. But there is 5-minute cities as well. But yeah, I believe they're called 15-minute cities mainly. Yeah. The world is cooked, man. It's cooked. I shouldn't be laughing at it, but at the same time, better to laugh than cry, right?
Yeah. It's pretty scary, and it'll take decades to do that too. It's like even if it, you know, if it's a good idea, which I don't know if it is, but reminds me of the old cattle barons clearing people off the land, you know. But I don't know. I can make all kinds of horrible theories up in my head, conspiracy theories and everything else, but it just seemed a little convenient that there was no water, and and that the wind conditions were right, and that there are people ready and willing and able to start fires. And are they commissioned to do so, or are they just acting on their own volition? I don't know. But they seem pretty well equipped, some of these people that they're catching.
That's exactly what I was saying. Are these people commissioned, or are they just doing it randomly? You know, option 2 seems very unlikely.
A lot of questions. A lot of questions, Mel. Mel, a message tonight.
Yeah, you know, I'll sift through the remains of my place and see if I can find any clues for you.
Mel, any message from you to Governor Newsom or Karen Bass tonight?
Spend less on hair gel. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, what can I say to them? Not big admirer of either.
Wait, his response to her was, spend less on hair gel. That's crazy. Yeah, she's, I can tell exactly what she's backing. Yeah, listen to this lady. This is interesting. And she speaks a lot of truth.
Frustrate anybody else that we're not allowed to talk about what's really going on in our world?
Yep, most of the time when I have, the video has been demonetized.
We're not allowed to talk about what's actually unfolding behind closed doors. We can't talk about Maui. We can't talk about North Carolina, and soon we won't be able to talk about LA. We're not supposed to know about the flood insurance that was canceled before North Carolina. And we're not supposed to know about the fire insurance that was canceled before LA. We can't talk about the color blue.
That's it, blue. It was the color blue that apparently, for some reason, none of the vehicles were on fire if they were blue.
Definitely can't talk about the cities that are coming. We are not allowed to talk about what is really going on in our world. We can't talk about the shipping containers. We can't talk about why celebrities always look so young. We can't talk about what happens in the tunnels, and we definitely can't talk about what happens every single day beneath our feet. We can't talk about what is really going on in our world. Our world is not as it seems. Everybody that you see, that you look up to, our politicians, our celebrities, Hollywood, is not as it seems. Evil is running this world. And it is soon coming to a head, and Satan will step out onto center stage. The beast system is getting set up right in front of our eyes, and we are not allowed to talk about it.
You want to know what's crazy? To most people, that sounds insane. But it's true. We do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but spiritual wickedness, principalities, the darkness of this world. That's the truth. You are either a child of the Most High or a child of the devil. There's no other way about it. You're either born again, sealed by the Holy Spirit, you're the Most High's, or you're not. And sadly, these people who are running the quote-unquote world are not the Most High's children. They're children of their father, the devil.
I talked to a fireman once, and he goes, dude, one day, he goes, it's just going to be the right wind, and fire's going to start in the right place, and it's going to burn through LA all the way to the ocean, and there's not a thing we can do about it. I go, really? He goes, yeah, we just get lucky. He goes, we get lucky with the wind. He goes, but if the wind hits the wrong way, it's just going to burn straight through LA, and there's not going to be a thing we can do about it. Because these fires are so big, dude. When they're talking about like thousands of acres that are burning simultaneously with like 40-mile-an-hour winds. And the wind's just blowing embers through the air, and those embers are landing on roofs, and those houses are going up, and they're landing on bushes, and those bushes are going up, and everything's dry. And once it happens in a way where it's so spread out that there's nothing they can do. There's nothing they can do.
You just have to evacuate, right?
Nothing they can do. They just got to get out of there.
I mean, do you know what I think? I don't think that there's nothing they can do. And I don't think that it's just that they're getting lucky. I think that, David played the harp, and now the government want to. Now the world want to play the harp, if you know what I'm saying. And they do quite frequently play the harp. If you know, you know.
They spent $24 billion last year on the homeless.
Yeah.
And what did they spend on preventing these wildfires?
Zero.
Zip.
And in 2019, I think Newsom said, I'm going to take care of the forests and maintain the forests and do all that kind of stuff. He didn't do anything.
And then on top of that, they cut the water off.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's all funny. And then I think all our tax dollars probably went for Gavin's hair gel.
And then he gets on TV and pretends like everything's great. Mm-hmm. And California's the best. We have the best state. We have the most amazing economy. And like, you're out of your mind, dude. You've ruined this state. Like, personally ruined it. I felt like it could fall apart at any moment. It was always like, I was always waiting for the next earthquake or the next fire. I was evacuated 3 times from my house from fires. Yeah. Last one, 2 houses in front of my house burnt to the ground. Right in front of my house.
What the
Yeah, the wildfires were crazy.
Yeah, it's scary, right?
Scary. When you see them coming, you know, I came home from the Comedy Store. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and me and my wife were looking out the window at the fire coming over the hill. And we made an early call. We said, look, if we're wrong, we'll come back. The house is still here, but let's just get the out of here now.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I want to say something, because yesterday I made a video and I said, praise the Most High that we don't have earthquakes and fires over here in the UK. And do you know what someone responded in the comments? They raged at me. They were like, you think that you're a better Christian than the Christians in America because you don't have wildfires and earthquakes over there? Well, do you know what we both have? Muslims. I'm like, what, bro? That was not my point. My point was to glorify the Most High and say, praise the Most High that we don't have that. Not, oh, we're better than you because we don't have that. Oh, us Christians in Britain don't have... Like, what? Who thinks that way? That is a sick way to think, just saying. But I wanted to say here, praise the Most High that we don't have wildfires, because that sounds absolutely insane. Like, coming home at 1 a.m. in the morning and seeing fire, like, coming towards your home, that is disgusting. But, you know, Hollywood is a sick place. It's a sick place. Look what happened to Diddy. Look what's being revealed about all these celebrities, Jay-Z. And these situations have been revealed for years, for those who have eyes to see and ears to hear. But now the world is even waking up to it. And we have to use these situations to point people towards the truth, because the truth is always tried to be hijacked by evil, by liars, by deceivers. So if you know who the truth is, let me know in the comment section below. And I'm going to cut this one off here, but like and subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos. I love you all so much. Believe on the Lord Jesus Christ and you shall be saved. And I'll see you on the next one in Yahoshua's name.